Hey, how's it going, guys? JJ Starwind is here. Just wanted to make this recording to let you guys know what's been happening over the past several weeks while I've been pretty much absent on the tube. So, early this month, something very unexpected happened medically. Uh, I guess it's sort of a disease, or rather, an infection. It's kind of rare, maybe, but I'll find a graph so you guys can kind of see what it is. It's called uveitis. And basically, what it is an inflammation of the eye. It's more common on the front side of the eye, which they call anterior uveitis, whereas what I got this time is called posterior uveitis, which where the swelling and the inflammation is in the back side of the eye, and that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to treat. And I am recovering from it. It's kind of giving me problems now because it's trying to leak out the discharge or the fluid or whatever. It's trying to come out of the eye. But I have been seeing better today than I have over the past week. This weekend I was just out of it, man. Like I was in so much pain, I pretty much stayed in bed. Okay, it was giving me that much problems. Um, it's just a lot of aching and swelling, and then of course it messes with your vision, and it's foggy. You can't see nothing, you know. And if you don't treat it, it will make you go blind. That they did say that because eventually it turns into, I think, glaucoma. The uveitis will turn to glaucoma, and then you can't see nothing after that. The eye's pretty much gone. So you're pretty much a cyclops unless you get it in both eyes. And this can also be an underlying condition of something even greater than that if you have uveitis. For example, I read that about irritable bowel syndrome, so that kind of worried me a little bit. I was like, I hope I don't have that. And the doctor last week tested me for something called, it started with an S. I don't want to butcher the word. I guess it's some kind of immune disease or something, but it said it was negative, so it starts with an S. If I find it, I could put it in the chat. I don't know, or the description box. But they were testing for that, so when I go to the doctor on the 20th of December, I should know a little bit more about the blood work that they did on me during my first visit to the doctor last week. And so I'm making this recording just to let you guys know what happened and why I've been out of it all this time. It has been a lot more difficult to make videos throughout this past year because of the new job I took. And then I was making plans to finally travel out of the country for the first time in years, only for this to happen. So now things are looking like they're in limbo at this time as far as that trip goes. However, I did hear back from an old contact, so with careful planning and with preparation, I just might be able to go to said country around the summertime, but I don't know definitively when in the summer of next year. So all is not lost. It's just, I guess it's gonna be a little while longer. Unfortunately, it's so sad that you prepare and you do everything carefully. Things go great. The next thing you know, this happens. And funny enough, the month before that, I got hit on the side of my car. I was driving, I got hit on the side of the car. And so that was a car accident. It wasn't my fault at all. Didn't have to pay no damages whatsoever, thankfully. The other guy had to do it. We were both in the same insurance company, so I was at no fault whatsoever. So I was lucky to get my car back as quickly as I did. So I was like, okay, I might be able to travel this time. Nope. Then this happens. I get this stinking infection. I'm like, man, really? So yeah, I got two color eyes right now, man. My right eye looked like it could be something straight out of an anime, like something from Naruto or King and Ashura, like that scene where Oma Tokita was in the bathroom. He was throwing up blood. He looked in the mirror. He saw his eyes was blooded up along with his face. So it's kind of looking like that right now. That's how crazy my right eye looks. But it's getting better though. I'm seeing pretty strong like on a daily basis. So I'm not getting my hopes up too high, but I'm hoping by Friday the doctor be like, okay, I'll see you within a month. well, I'll see you within 2 weeks or something like that, instead of saying, well, I'll see you again in a week, then that'll mess things up for sure. Then I know I can't go nowhere. Not at all. But if I don't go anywhere, I may try to go live. I don't know what I will talk about. I have to think about it. I have to really think about what I want to discuss, or unless I just do like an open panel. But I don't want no arch nemesis coming up on here and messing things up. It might be entertaining, but I don't want them over here messing with me, because it has been a pretty crazy month. Okay, we just want to end this year off already. Been busting tail at the job. Okay, hopefully next year will be a lot more smoother. Hopefully. And give a special shout out to Phantom Clutch. This morning he had tagged me on a video on a response that he did. It was based on International Passports channel. I happened to see that. I happened to hear it while I was, doing my desk work at the job. So I'm having to hear this stuff, and they're talking about International Passport. He's got a thing for Asian chicks, man. I guess I can't blame him. But at the same time, I'm hearing this stuff, and it's like, man, the dude sounds so defeatist in a lot of his explanations. It's just like, he's another one of these people that's worried about the validation of others so much, and then he's trying to intertwine that with the racism talk and the white supremacy talk, and it's like, dude, I'm not even sure why you're that concerned about it. Yeah, we need to be aware. We always have to be self-aware of the world and how people perceive us. Yes, okay, perception matters. We know this. But at the same time, you should let it consume your every single thought and fiber of your being. You don't want to turn that into an obsession. It doesn't lead to good thing. It just leads to a lot of misjudgments of people. It just does, And perhaps some of those Asian women that he was talking to, International Passport, perhaps they could sense that out of him, that he was that insecure in himself. And that's probably why they didn't want to deal with him. Maybe not. I mean, maybe from the service they probably thought he was ugly. Or they like, oh, I don't want to deal with you, I want to, get away and stuff like that. Like, I want to be left alone. Now, he had traveled, I think, not too long ago. He was in South Korea. Like, that's the one country right now that's struggling with relationships altogether. Like, people are trying to throw all these theories out and trying to come up with excuses as to why they're not dealing with each other. And, oh, it's because of the culture there, Confucianism. Oh, it's because of the workload that they got to do. They work a lot of hours. Or the women, they're getting into all these feminist movements, which actually has been overblown. I want you guys to check out a channel called Average Korean Man. His real name is Taesong. So I guess I'll give him a little shout out too. He's getting quite a bit of fame on YouTube a bit. So he's YouTube famous a little bit. So if you want to hear more about Korean culture directly from a Korean citizen, go to Average Korean Man's channel and you'll get a better idea as to what's going on in South Korea. All right. And then there was another channel that was a female that pretty much said the same thing he did. Actually, I saw her video first back in springtime, I believe. Pretty much debunking that whole 4B movement and the popularity of it in that country. She's like, no, nobody in South Korea is talking about that movement like that. No, what are you guys talking about? But still, it's a factor, but it's not on the grand scope of things. And of course, the whole political strife, if you guys been living under a rock over there with the president, getting impeached now. So right now things is kind of, it's a little wild in South Korea. I mean, it's still not enough to say you can't go there, but just understand that people don't have time to deal with you like that, because there's a lot going on with the people there, But at the same time, I mean, it's not like all the females there are going to be like anti-black and stuff. Like, it's not going to be on that tip, But that's the kind of vibe of getting out of International Passport, He comes across as being really insecure about how people are feeling about him and stuff. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it, especially when you travel. You don't really want to go out with that kind of mentality. I mean, you're going to run into people that are going to give you a hard time sometimes, but it's not going to be most people. If you already have contact with some folks in that country, it should be a breeze, actually. Because those are the very people that are going to vet you. Not only they'll vet you and they'll accept you, they'll let you in their circle of friends, and then you should be good to go. It doesn't really matter what outsiders think. At that point, you in, you know? And those locals there will shield you from the haters, quote unquote, that don't want no foreigners there at all. That's how it should be, from my interpretation anyhow. But yeah, those are my thoughts about that video overall. I mean, him and his little sidekick Theo Waff, they were just kind of shooting the shit about all these, perceptions of folks in Asia and stuff like that. And like, well, I guess he'll figure it out at some point. I think he's just kind of, at this point, he's just kind of like cloud chasing a little bit too much, if you ask me, doing the YouTube channel and stuff like that. He should travel more, honestly. I don't know what kind of job IP does, but if he does happen to hear this, man, just travel. Make your connections, the right kind of connections, not on some pro-blackness or nothing like that. Nothing silly like that. Make some concrete friends over there. And you gotta travel with a perverted mentality and nothing like that. Just mingle with the crowd, the type of people you want to be with, and everything should be okay. As long as the country's not at war, it's not in no political strife, or it's a crime-ridden mess. Your vacation over there ought to be sweet. If you have to meet a woman of the opposite sex that, that's down for you, then it is what it is. So that's all I got to say on that tip. But, yeah, my eyes recovering. I'm going to give it some time. Hopefully, I should be able to see pretty good by Christmas. That's my hope anyway. That's at least another week. If I do decide to travel anyway, I won't say where I'm going, but if I do decide to travel, then it's going to be at the last minute kind of thing. But if not, then like I said, I got summertime for sure next year. Definitely. But anyway, this is JJ Starwind. Those are my thoughts. Again, shout out to Phantom Clutch for tagging me on the response video. And I'll tag him back once I put this recording together and put it on the tube. Alright, that's it from here. See you all next time.